Hello friends, this is Kathy with Kathy by Design, wishing you a happy new year, and I'm here to share with you a gorgeous new collection from Graphic 45 called Portrait of a Lady. And this is one of my CHA projects that I made using this collection. Honestly, it's swoon worthy. I just love the colors, the images. It's classic Graphic 45, just everything we all love. And what I started with was this craft board easel album. It measures 8 by 8, and as you can see, it's flat, but and it has this really cool hinged easel base that allows you to stand your project up on your desk or display shelf. But as you can see, once I got done with it, it wasn't very flat anymore. So on my cover, I just layered a couple of layers of matting cardstock, this gorgeous signature image from the collection, and I used Tim Holtz's little banner flags to cut out a whole row, little vintage pearl buttons, a tiny acrylic frame that I altered and stained, fussy cut roses, some beautiful white satin ribbon, some petaloo bead and leaves, and then these beautiful Botanica petaloo blossoms, also the hydrangea blossoms. And then I just added some paint spatter. To do this is really simple. I just thin out my acrylic paint until it's just slightly thicker than water, and then I use a brush and just tap the brush over the paint. And to protect the face, I'll just put like a little post-it note shape over the face so the face doesn't get messed up. Anyway, we're just going to try to look at this. It's a little hard to do, but as you can see, I covered the bottom with designer paper, and then it flips like this. So it's kind of a double-sided, think like a reversible jacket. That's what it's like. So I've done photo mounts and decorative pages on each page, and then of course these little belly bands. You can slip your 4x6 photos back behind there with fussy cut roses, some really luxurious velvet ribbon that I found in my stash, and then I love these tiny images. It makes me think of a gallery wall in an estate home. I just love how this looks. So then we flip the page. Let me get that flipped. It's hard to look at this laying down. I hope this is coming out all right. I'm going to have to check it. But here's another. I love the dark greens and the beautiful vintage peaches. And if you're looking to custom dye your ribbon to go with this, use Tattered Rose Distress Ink and seam binding ribbon, and you can make your own custom ribbons. But what I've done throughout is I've used these wonderful policy envelopes as photo envelopes. So you can tuck your photos inside. I die cut a bunch of doilies using a Prima die, and then just fussy cut. There's the fussy cutting in this collection. If you love to fussy cut, you will be in heaven. So there's a whole page of beautiful little cameo images and framed images like this. Some more of the beautiful fussy cut roses. And then I created throughout these little folders. And I just did this, you just cut your craft cardstock. I did it 6 inches high by 8 inches wide, scored down the middle. I used a corner chomper to shape my corners, and then I just layered these images in. This one pulls out, so you can actually put a photo behind that on the front, and then room inside for a series of larger photos. Then I found some really beautiful vintage trim in my stash and added that here. And then this is another just photo page. I love the sentiments in this collection. This one is Beauty Begins the Moment You Decide to Be Yourself. And to kind of unify the design, you can see I've used these little banner flags and fussy cut roses all the way through. I always put my little embellishments in such a way that the photo can slip back behind, so that's a good tip. And then I have a series of pocket pages, and you can just tuck photos in there, mount a photo here. You can put receipts, whatever you want to put in here. They're just pockets. I love pockets. Pockets are handy. And we're actually looking at the B side of the pages. I started the wrong way, but that's okay. Another pocket with some more really beautiful velvet ribbon that I found in my stash. Just room to put stuff. And another pocket page. Doyle. I love using these doilies to mount these images. It just works so well. Here's a beautiful border strip from the collection. These stripes, they're just, honestly, this is one of the most gorgeous collections I think I've ever seen. So now we're back at the beginning. Here's the cover again. So we'll go through and we'll look at the A sides like this. So flip this around. And again, I just created a little photo mat here. There's a whole page of these beautiful perfume bottles and powder boxes, and so fun to fussy cut. I used a smaller policy envelope here, just added an image, and then behind the rose there's a magnet, a small magnet to actually hold that envelope in place. And here's a fun tip. All these beautiful sentiment pages, I just use spellbinder dies, circle dies, ovals, whatever, to cut out and then use these as titles on your pages. That's a really fun thing. And then here's another side pocket page. To make these, what I do is I would put down this background paper first and then glue this over the top, but just glue the bottom, the side, and the top. And then on top of this I added a little folio for larger photos, and it has a magnetic closure. Here's another one of these beautiful policy envelopes, just decorated very simply. And then I use the craft tags, the Staples craft tags, to make more photo mounts, topping them with ribbon, room for photos on the back, or journaling, whichever you choose. And this page is so gorgeous. Look at these beautiful antique framed images. It's just like being in a photo gallery. This is another little folio. This one opens from the bottom, and again, I always glue these in such a way that the photos can slip behind. This is one of the beautiful titled pieces. I know I'm saying beautiful a lot, forgive me, but honestly, when I literally gasped when I took this collection out of my box, because it's just incredible. And then here's the main waterfall folio, and this is 6 inches wide by 4 inches tall, and it just flips open. I did a magnetic closure on the front to hold it closed, and then your photos can slip behind these belly bands. So just added little embellishments and strips of paper, more of these little flags. Here's a gorgeous image from that gallery page. I call it the gallery page because it's like all these framed images displayed on the page, and it's just wonderful. Another border piece. Look at this paper. Look at the colors. It's just splendid. And then behind here you can put a photo. Room for journaling. Room for photo. And then here's the last page. And you could put a photo here and a photo here. So that's my waterfall folio. And I created this, I'll just tell you very quickly. Just cut your paper to measure 6 inches wide by 4.5 inches tall. Score at a 1/2 inch. And I'll try to show you how to do this. You just glue that 1/2 inch flap down, then line the top of the next piece up with the folded line, and you can see how you just have the fold behind each one, and then you end up with this fun waterfall folio. This image, is that not breathtaking? I mean, just look at it. The colors are so rich and beautiful. And here I just layered bits and pieces. I've used almost every scrap of this paper already. I've done 3 projects with it. I'm just so enamored of this paper. Here's another one of these wonderful policy envelopes set up to hold photos. And then another craft tag. Just look at these images. So beautiful. And of course, room on the back for another smaller photo. And another pocket page that I made just by layering this 4x6. I matted it on craft cardstock and again just glued bottom, side, and top. And then 2 of these craft tags inside, topped with ribbon. And of course, I did it so that the photos can go behind. I really had fun digging into my vintage lace and things like that for this project. Little strip of satin ribbon, little fussy cut rose. And then this is a beautiful page too. This is a Spellbinder gold, I think it's ornate circle is what it's called, and I die cut it out of this pale pink cardstock, and then I just sponged it lightly with vintage photo ink. Of course, your photo will go there. This is another one of the things I was telling you about from the sentiment page. These just lend themselves beautifully to being cut out, matted, and used as text. I love to combine text with pictures. I just think it's a great look. And then another itty bitty little journaling spot, or a spot for teeny tiny photos right there. And we're back at the end. So that is my portrait of a lady mini album made with the 8x8 craft board easel album. It looks beautiful sitting on my desk. I think you'll have a lot of fun working with this collection. I hope I've shared some tips and ideas that have inspired you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and go get your craft on.